Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the three-digit World Cup. It's the Grand Finals weekend. Finally, it has been a long tournament to this point. And now, finally sitting here in the loser's side Grand Finals are the United States of America and Brazil. It is going to be a damn good match. We saw both of these teams put forth very good matches last week. United States, a tiebreaker against South Korea in the finals. Brazil, we saw a sweep against Team Philippines after a hard-fought match against Team Hong Kong. Both of these teams have shown their dominance in this tournament, and now fighting off to figure out who gets to face South Korea tomorrow. It is going to be a good match. My name is Tycani. Joining me shortly will be, I believe, Chillier Pair. But for now, just me. I do want to talk a little bit about these teams. Again, we saw a tiebreaker with South Korea last week from the United States. They have shown a really good performance in 3WC, and it makes sense. This has been a tournament that the United States has always been super good at. They have the biggest pool of three-digit players. For Brazil, Brazil's always been good. They did not see the Grand Finals weekend last year, I don't believe, so this is a first, I think. And I'm very excited to see how they can do. The sweep against the Philippines was very promising. They're looking really good on these high SR pools. The USA is going to provide a little more trouble, though, I think. Just in terms of a skill cap team, a lot of these players are US's OWC players and by proxy OWC champions. So it's going to be a hard fight. But Brazil absolutely can make the cut. We're going to see here, it's Brazil to take the first ban. So they're going to be able to decide where we start off. This is a best of 13 set as well, just like with last week. Meaning you need 7 points to win. We are going to see, I'm pretty sure the entire pool will be either banned or played out by this point. That or there will be one map remaining. And it's an ABBA ban order, so we are going to see Brazil ban first, and then 2 bans from the USA, and then the final ban from Brazil. Here's a lot of the pool to go. I think both of these teams have pretty strong mechanics rosters. USA is going to be, I believe, a little more comfortable on the gimmick side of things. Reading is something that the USA is going to default be good at. So you're looking at stuff like Hidden 3, where Brazil might struggle a little more with that in comparison. But we'll see as we get the bans, the picks coming through. So there is Nissan on the Brazilian team, I think. If I remember correctly, pretty good with the reading. Now, we are going to see the Nomad 5 ban from Brazil respond DT3 and Fremod 2 bans from the United States. Big speed bans coming through, not wanting to deal with Brazil on speed. Totally fair. Brazil, very talented speed players. Now, Chillier Pair joining. How are you doing, Chillier?
Oh my gosh, it's Losers Grand Finals time. It's time, Tycani. How are we doing today?
Doing good. It's gonna be an exciting match for sure. Just waiting for Brazil's last ban. I think both of these teams have shown really good performances through this tournament, especially the United States with their tiebreaker against South Korea last time. So I'm excited. The skill cap pool is always so interesting to see from these teams.
Love it. We love the skill cap pool. The United States, they've done pretty well for themselves this tournament so far. I think that despite every other country looking so strong this year and everyone really stepping up to the plate, being, super consistent and super high skilled throughout the tournament this year. The United States holding up the same way they have year in and year out is fantastic for them. They won their first 2 matches 6-2 against their beginning teams. Actually, sorry, 6-4 and then 6-2, and then they won 7-3 against the Philippines, and the Philippines had their full roster for that match, which is a fantastic run. And of course, going to tiebreaker against South Korea, who I think everyone thought was just going to win this tournament uncontested this year. So the United States really made them look pretty vulnerable in that matchup there, going up against Brazil now, who 7-0'd the Philippines last weekend. They've had a great run, unfortunately also succumbing to South Korea just the round before the United States. Unfortunately, Philippines were playing without Hyuk in that match, so we don't quite know how that would have gone if they had their full team, but a 7-0 only missing that one player, you know, I'd be hard-pressed to say that that one player makes the difference of 7 points there, so Brazil, very strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this Brazilian roster is one of the best we've ever seen. And I'm very, very excited to see how they play against the U.S. I think U.S. seed number 2 for a reason. They did play better in South Korea, although it was on a higher SR pool, which does change things a little bit. But USA, I would say, is the favorite for this match. Brazil absolutely cannot count them out. They are going to get the first pick as well, so they're going to be able to kind of decide how we start off on this match, where the mental starts, I guess.
I think, you know, going through this pick and ban phase here at the start, it's Brazil's pick to start. United States very clearly going for speed and stamina bans today. They simply don't have the roster to match up with Brazil on that. Surprised they would go into it so heavily, but that's what they decided to do. Brazil going for the gimmick ban, so that hidden 3 and the no mod 5 against the United States, also pretty solid there. They're going for no mod 2 to start on Brazil, so, you know, I think with this United States this year, they are very mechanics favored against certain teams. I think against Brazil this year, they are slightly less favored on these mechanics type pools. I think that given Brazil's overall roster here, especially players like Nissan and Corian, they have a very, very strong lineup for things like this. So going into a 215 BPM Dream no mod 2 to start.
Yeah, 215 BPM is a monster for Nomad 2. You're not only dealing with the very, very tough flowing that we've come to know Nomad 2 for, but there is also that ever so slight stamina element to it. And this is 8 stars. I think, given that we saw speed bans from the US, this is kind of Brazil's closest replacement to speed is almost 220 streams, right? Like, it's not speed. Not by any measure, but it is still very, very tough on the tapping side of things, alongside just the very, very hard flow.
Yeah, certainly not a speed pick, and, you know, I think that while Brazil may be the mechanically favored team here, I don't necessarily know if they are a pure speed team. They certainly have the roster for it, and I think, especially going up against the United States, who, you know, they have some players for this sort of thing. It's not their strongest point, right? Like, the United States is not going to win every single speed map in this match. But, you know, and that's what makes this interesting, right? Is how strong these two teams are on some of these overlapping skill sets even really makes this a lot more interesting than I think other matches where, you know, you may be contested on certain things, but most of the time you're really not looking at too much overlap between them. Especially we saw that in the match against South Korea as well. You know, one team really favored on one skill set, the United States kind of taking the other, and it just brought them really, really late into that match.
Yeah. All right. Getting into it. This one immediately just gets into the difficulty. There is no break on a map as short as this. 2 minutes, 30 seconds, no mod 2. Now, this isn't, certainly isn't peak difficulty. We're going to see that in KIs a little later on, but already you see the streams come through. Everyone holding pretty high accuracy, exception of Tallulah, who is dropping accuracy, giving the early accuracy lead to Brazil early on in this match.
A little bit of a strong start for both teams. It's going to be a break for Nyash to start it off, though, so Brazil going to start down just a little bit here. United States maintaining that consistency through these very long streams at the beginning. Razor Fruit dropping a little bit of accuracy there. He manages to hold on to the combo as Nissan finds a break as well. That's now 2 FCs dropped for Brazil. The United States looking so strong on these base mechanics here in this No Mod 2. This is pure stream flow aim right here, folks, into these last couple streams, into the halfway point of the map. The United States still asserting their dominance over this beginning mechanics pick, saying, you know what, you might be a good mechanics team, but we're going to hold our own at the beginning of this match here. We're going to get everything we possibly can away from you, and a breakpoint would be a fantastic way to start this match for them, as now we pass halfway with only 1 FC to combat the United States on Brazil. Certainly not over yet. They've got build combo, but it's looking bad.
Absolutely, it's the hard thing with this mechanics roster versus mechanics roster thing. This is not an easy pick by any means for Brazil. It's USA able to hold their FCs into the slower section, able to build up the free combo a little bit. Even though Brazil has the higher accuracies, they need to see breaks from the USA to come soon. in the last third of the map now. They need to see breaks from the USA now. We're going to get to the hardest portion in just a second. The hardest bit of flow aim. Every player on the USA hits the space streams. Everyone's still holding their full combos. Ash drops from Razor Fruit, but it doesn't matter. The combo is still there. The Ash finds a break for Brazil. No trade on the side of the USA. Taquito finally finds a break. That's one. But Brazil needs multiple breaks from the United States. They see two come through. But Nissan trades it out. It's just Korean Malico with the FC. I don't know if Korean Malico really has the time nor the supporting combo to take it back, though.
Certainly doesn't. Only about 200,000 score for him left in potential, and there's a little bit more than that on the gap between these two teams. Not enough with the note density at the ending, especially with that chain miss to close it out. And the United States just barely at the end there, sneaking that break point out. 50,000 score, not the largest of gaps, especially considering they were holding that triple FC almost all the way through the pick there. But they finally managed to make it work at the end, and that is going to be a strong start for them on Brazil's opening pick. That's not what you want to see if you're Brazil, right? These early picks are your strong points. These are the maps that you cannot afford to lose because it throws off the picking strategy a little bit later in the match. So we're going to see how they regroup and maybe try and solve some of these issues they may have found at the beginning.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest problem that Brazil faced was just those really early breaks, right? Like, that kind of threw off their combo game. If it weren't for those breaks early on, Brazil took that. Unfortunately, they just weren't able to pull it together fast enough with the early map. Give it over to the United States now. United States immediately going to go into Nomad 3. It's one your sort of alt aim control pick, mapped by Nuge and Henry for 3WC, I believe. It's gonna be interesting. 8-star alt map is always so tough.
Well, let's see what happens here. Opening pick for the United States. We saw what just happened with Brazil's own opening pick here, and we know that both of these teams are so strong. There's nothing guaranteed between these two rosters right now, so we're really looking for some consistency. We're really looking for that skill cap to show through here in this pool. In the United States, they are the gimmick roster against basically every team with the exception of South Korea in this tournament this year. Nobody has been able to stack up to this roster from them, and I'm very interested to see what they're able to show off on a grand finals pool with this roster. Very strong.
Yeah, alright. USA players looking at Decaden entering the lobby. Love that Decaden, obviously a very strong mechanics player, especially on the aim side. Seeing Korean Malico stay in for Brazil, Tallulah for USA, and Zubs for Brazil. Just both rosters waiting on the third player.
What happens with these rosters now? Both very good depth on these two teams here as well. That's kind of the special thing about these late stage teams that kind of make it through to grand finals weekend, right? They all have that depth that you love to see from these top tier teams. They have players for almost everything, and sometimes it takes them a little while to get that roster set. You want to make sure everything is perfect, especially in your last possible fight for the badge of this tournament. The winner of this match goes to face against South Korea in the winners bracket, the grand finals match, as fieryrage will be joining us, and I will be taking my leave.
Hello.
All right.
Hello, team.
My parents have finished accosting me. I am now here.
Shout out to parents.
I'm now no longer gapped.
All right, the roster we planned for the commentary now here. Let's go. And a quick intro to the Nomad 3. Huge breaks across the board. Everybody has broken at this point. Nobody quite comfortable with that intro.
This is the 185. I wouldn't really call this an alt map, but it is certainly mapped kind of in that style for the most part. But
yeah,
this is a very flow aim heavy Nomad 3, as you can pretty much see from the wiggles alone here. No one can really hold a combo on this. This map is very hard, as kind of expected from a Grand Finals map pool, but right now, United States with the slight advantage, mostly off the combo of Taquito, who now breaks, but it's going to stay in their favor for now.
Yeah, US was looking really consistent. Decaden and Taquito put up huge combos. Now Zubs and Defons are the players we're looking at On Brazil, looking a little more consistent. Corey Malico as well. Zubs is going to find a break, but Corey Malico and Defons are both there to pick up the pieces against just Tycani. Defons falls. Tycani versus Corey and Malico now. Huge combos on these two players, and it's really just like you need your highlight players for just a second on this map before they break again. This map is so prone to breaks across the map. There are so many flashing red names.
The accuracy is what's keeping the United States ahead right now, as long as Decadent also holds, as Corian Maluco drops the massive combo that Brazil had. No one to really trade it on the United States side. Kama finally does there, but it's traded by literally everybody on the Brazilian side. Keto drops as well, but it is Deca against the world. Deca goes down after building a 100k score lead, and I think with half of the map to go, and pretty much no combo on anyone, this is going to be an uphill battle for Brazil to come back in this.
Yeah, in 3v3, 100k score lead doesn't seem like a lot until you look at the scores on the bottom, you're like, oh, that's massive. There is not much score to speak of on anybody. Like, 150k is more than Zub's entire score, than Defon's entire score on Brazil, so it's a tough climb for Brazil. They need to play basically perfect on this ending, which is a huge ask. This is USA's first pick. This is where they're the most confident and where they're going to be super consistent, at least in comparison to Brazil. We do see breaks come through from Tycani and Taquito to start, but, you know, if you look at the combos, they're pretty even, which Brazil doesn't want. They absolutely need combos in their favor, like, definitively.
There's straight up just not enough time. This is the United States
point.
Like, even with that break from Deca, Corian is the only combo remaining, and the map remaining is just too much. It's so short to the point where it pretty much does not matter. Even though he is going to hold through this section, what is going on? He is holding through that section way longer than he should have.
Yeah, there was a little bit of a Corey and Malico Defon sort of duo for just a second, but with how hard this map consistently is, it wasn't enough for Brazil to climb it back. USA is going to make sure it's no return break point. They're going to secure their pick and go up 2-0 against Brazil.
Everyone had a fun time on this map, as evident by the numerous different misses. Lowest miss count is 19 on Decadent. This map is very hard. It says 8 stars. It's probably more like 9 stars.
Yeah, no, this is an absurdly hard map. There's a reason it's in grand finals. 8-star when you're looking at like 185 BPM, ulti-ish flow aim, like 8-star is not a normal star rating. That should have you shaking in your boots.
Let's consolidated breakpoint for the United States. Only 2 no-mod maps remaining now, as Brazil gets into their second pick. See what they opt to go for here. Considering what the United States banned, I wouldn't be too surprised to see a speed map here, building off of Nomad 2 as well, maybe DT2.
Yeah, absolutely. DT2 and DT1 are both maps I think Brazil could have in its back pocket. DT1 a lot more risky, just given the aim element. It's something that USA is going to perform a little better on, especially after winning Nomad 3, sort of showing off their aim control, high BPM. Brazil actually go for free mod 1, so completely out of the speed direction. We're looking at 148 BPM is what we're looking at here.
Well, definitely more of an alt map than I think Nomad 3 was, so kind of understandable. Even as Brazil kind of got owned on that Nomad 3, this is pretty much an entirely different map with that BPM difference. Plus, as well, you have to factor in the fact that you need 1 hard rock and 1 hidden on this.
Yeah, there's also, like, the Defons effect, right? Defons was looking like he could be a real threat on that Nomad 3, Brazilian star player, right? If Defons can lock down this free mod 1, and I'm sure this is a Defons-centric pick, USA could run into some big trouble. So, they just got to find the right roster to counter that. Brazil's locking in, just like saying, okay, we know Defons is going to play well in this. Who are the 2 best supporting players that we can put alongside him to deal with the USA's roster?
I imagine we're going to be seeing Deca obviously in for the United States. Whether he's going to go Nomad or Hard Rock is anyone's guess. Taquito is 100% going hidden on this. Having a fill player, I would assume Razorfruiter, in as either the Nomad or Hard Rock fill. Thank you for the fancy text, Deca. Very cool.
Hello, bro, indeed. That's beautiful, thank you.
Side of Brazil, going to be seeing Nissan come in, or better known as, I don't know how to pronounce that. You can see him in the second slot on Brazil. I'm not even going to bother trying. We're just going to call him Nissan. Subs to finalize the Brazilian roster. Just waiting on the United States now.
I'm sure they're just taking a second to just play through, you know, make sure they're comfortable, whatever mod. We do see Razorfruit come in.
No taquito on this is actually kind of interesting. I'm wondering who's going to be taking Hidden if this is actually the final roster for the United States. Kama, I imagine, would go Hard Rock. Then I guess Razorfruit on Hidden, maybe Deck. I don't know.
That makes. I feel like Deca's the no mod rock, you know, the one that you want to consistently play with no mod. Yeah, okay. Razorfruit Hidden, Kama Hard Rock, and we see the Fonz Hard Rock on the side of Brazil alongside Nissan and Subs Hidden. So a little overmod there.
We'll see if it plays a factor. Do have the 1 mod advantage, so they do get a slight score boost from that, but more importantly, they're going to have to play well on those mods, and Defons is not having a fun time right now in the slightest. It is the beginning of the map, and this is a 4-minute long map, so not the end of the world, but definitely not the start you want to have. Razorfruit does trade, at the very least, combo-wise, as well as Kama there. So we'll be in Brazil's favor for right now. We get into the next parts of the map. Zubs and Defons trade. It is not answered by anyone on the United States outside of Kama, who was already broken.
Yeah, and there goes Nissan as well. That was Brazil's FC, now gone. They don't really have the combo now to contest the Caden on the Nomad FC, and Razorfruit not too far behind on Hidden.
It's all eyes on Deca right now. The only combo remaining, Razorfruit as well, holding on to a very nice recovery combo after the early misses, but this is quickly getting very out of hand. 100k lead, 1/4 of the way through the map, and with these combos holding on the side of the United States, and with Brazil not really having the greatest time in terms of recovery combos, Zubs is the only one on any recovery combo right now as Nissan misses there alongside Defons. This is quickly going out of hand.
Yeah, Brazil, they were hoping to play a little more consistently than they are, and now being faced with, the danger of picking ult into the US, right? Like, this is a very, very good mechanics roster. Tycani especially, we knew, was going to show up on this map immediately. He was sitting in the lobby waiting for it, and really showing on the no mod. Doesn't matter that Razorfruit broke, because they still have their FC, the biggest combo on Brazil, 400 behind Tycani on Zubs. They do have a slight combo advantage now, I think, because of the breaks from Razorfruit and Kama, but that's not going to be enough. They really need the Caden to go down.
They do not have combo advantage off that. Deca is still holding on to the FC. As soon as that FC drops over, things can get pretty interesting. Nissan and Zubs do have fairly decent recovery combos, and they have as well the mod advantage on top of that. Whether or not there's enough map remaining, not too sure. I feel like it's probably a bit too late, even if Deca does miss right now. 300k is a lot to make up in a 4-minute long map, but we'll see what happens. Deca's gonna pretty much need to miss in like the next 30 seconds, though, in order for this comeback to be possible, I think.
Yeah, and that next 30 seconds isn't awfully dense as far as difficulty goes. We are about to get into the Ki, but Deca has been able to climb up that combo on, leading up to the Ki, and he's gonna hold on.
That's gonna seal the point for the United States. Another break point for them. Brazil just can't really seem to get anything going here.
Yeah, it's unfortunate they had a huge recovery combo. They've stalled the US climbing the lead for quite a while, but they haven't been able to bring it back themselves because of this Tycani combo. 99.3% accuracy as well. Absolutely impressive score on the no mod. This is why they put him on the no mod. They didn't want to sack him down with a mod because they knew that he could put forth the consistency that they needed and close out the full combo.
Grand finals, full combo is always impressive to see, and That is definitely a score from Deca, half his team score with that Nomad FC alone. He's going to be bringing the United States over the top on that. Shout out to Zubs as well, 750k on the hidden. The second best score in the lobby, and an unfortunate one miss from Nissan as well. So just some unlucky misses here and there, but overall consistency in favor of the United States on that.
Yeah, it's scary. I mean, it's two mechanics rosters. It's really hard to pick into the other guy when the other guy can play the same thing that you can. Unfortunately for Brazil, it's going to go the wrong way. As you said, it's the consistency. The consistency is what matters, and US looking a little bit better, showing up. And now they have a chance to consolidate it and go up 4-0, which would be huge. Just have to find the right pick to make sure that Brazil can't crawl their way in to a reverse breakpoint.
What the United States picks into here, I'm not too sure, honestly. Might go for hidden. If not, then they'll probably just go for picking more of the harder maps in the pool. Hard Rock 3 is, I guess, a bit more of a toss-up, honestly, in my opinion. But nonetheless, you're up 2 breakpoints. Might as well get some of the riskier maps out of the way. This is a CS8 map, essentially, with Hard Rock. So very precision-oriented, pretty much exclusively precision-oriented. Very hard to really be consistent on this. But Brazil and the United States both have fairly good Hard Rock players. We mentioned Corian Maluco, obviously the standout Hard Rock player on Brazil. Decaton, no slouch either on the United States.
Yeah, the Hard Rock players, as you said, CS6 is something that's becoming more standard in the Hard Rock 2 slot and tournaments, but it's still difficult. Even though it's 180 BPM, the pure precision focus on this is troubling. We don't see Corey and Maluco join the lobby yet for Brazil. As we see okay, they are switching out their lineup. I was a little worried for a second. This is really, really tough. CS 7.8 is not normal. You see Bashi come in for United States, absolutely makes sense. Very, very talented gimmick player. Can absolutely perform on this raw precision.
I completely forgot to mention Bashi. This is pretty much the reason he's on the roster, is for, one, the reading maps in the pool, and 2, for very high precision maps like this.
Yeah, Brazil, they tried to get rid of Bashi. They banned Nomad 5. They banned Hidden 3. They were like, all right, we're good. Forgot about Hard Rock 3. Oops. He's here to play. I imagine we are going to see Tycani come back in. I'm not sure who USA's third is going to be. Yeah, okay, true. Yeah,
the Hard Rock roster, Deca, Kama, you're going to see them in for pretty much all the Hard Rocks. Bashi, I don't know if he's going to be in for Hard Rock 1 or 2, but definitely in for this.
Corey Maluco joining the lobby back for Brazil. That should be our locked roster as the timer goes down to 0. Yeah, as you said, this could be contested. Precision is always a little bit of a toss-up, especially as you have these 2 very talented mechanics rosters, though. I'd still say definitely US favored, just because we're looking down, Bashi, Man, Tycani, Kama. That's a huge Hard Rock core for the United States that Brazil's going to have a little bit of trouble with, but certainly not impossible by any means.
I mean, I was talking about this map being very hard to be consistent at, and that is not an exaggeration. You'd pretty much have to be playing this for quite a while prior to playing it in match in order for you to feel really super comfortable on this. Fortunately, Bashi, I believe this is his first map in, so probably had more than enough time to practice it, and everyone on the United States not really having that much of a trouble. As soon as I say that, Kama and Bashi break. Deca holding on to the SS early on, but plenty of more space burst to drop that combo on. We'll see if he can keep holding on.
Yeah, Tycani's a huge combo for the United States, though. Nobody on Brazil has been able to match it. Corey Maluco has built up slightly. Tycani is going to break, but Kama's there to catch the fall to fight off against Corey Maluco, especially with the accuracy just a little bit better for the United States as Brazil continues to find breaks on players other than Corey Maluco. He doesn't have the supporting combo that the United States has. It's very, very scary for Brazil.
Lead is going to be stagnant for now. Oh, really? Okay, well, never mind. Kama slider breaking on one of the easier parts is going to be giving combo advantage right back to Brazil. They're going to be seeing that at the break, assuming no disaster class happens, which it doesn't. Corian Maluko having the sole combo right now and needs to pretty much hold on for the rest of the map in order for Brazil to have a chance here. Zubs as well on a nice recovery, but that is countered by Bashi Man.
Yeah, it's still a tough lead to make up, but every break from the USA is going to help. Zubs and Kama trade breaks. Not sure if that's Bancho just because of the timely freeze of tournament
That was not
client.
Bancho. That was a miss. No misses on the space burst. That was one of the potential areas I think people are going to miss on. Corian Maluko misaims a kick slider, and I think that's just going to about do it. Bashi now highest combo in the lobby, and there's no one to counter it whatsoever. I think that's going to be just about it for this map.
Yeah, Bashi is in control. Defons is the highest combo in Brazil, and that's certainly not enough to fight off against Bashi Man, who hits the space burst. Into the Ki he goes, looking strong as ever. Finally does find a break. Defons trades it. That was the only hope Brazil had at getting back into it, as nobody has combo anymore, and a 150k lead from the USA. It is Raps, 4 points to nothing. The United States looking so damn strong in the first half of this match.
That's 2 consolidated breakpoints now. So the United States goes up 4-0. Brazil need to get into this match real quick. I imagine.
Yeah.
I'm really surprised they have not opted to pick into speed yet. I want to see them pick into something like DT2, see if they can dip their toes into that. And if you lose that, then that's just unlucky. Not really much you can do about that. But
bluntly, you pick DT2 here or you lose, I think, if you're Brazil. You need that pick so bad right now to turn the momentum around. You absolutely cannot throw just another contested pick out, and then USA wins it, and then suddenly you're down 5-0. It is over by that point. You need something that you are dominant on, and speed is what that is. That is why USA banned DT3. That's why they banned Fremont 2. DT2 is the easy answer for Brazil to break out of it. Not to say that DT2 is the most, like, guaranteed map in the world for Brazil. It's certainly not, but it's better than what they've been picking so far, where the USA has been able to kind of sweep the rug from under them.
I think avoiding Nomad 4 is probably a no-brainer. I don't think picking into tech is a good idea against this United States roster. So yeah, it's going to be DT2. Finally getting into the speed here. United States double banned it, so not too surprising to see it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big one. This is your 240 BPM stamina pick. And it's a tough one. You are going to see plenty of breaks on this. Also, AR 10.5. 3WC DT pools do not hold back when it comes to the AR, which is going to be pretty uncomfortable for some players. So if you're used to playing tournament speed, you're not used to playing 10.5 that often.
Unfortunately, every single farm map for everybody now is AR 10.5. So
that is true.
I don't imagine there's going to be that much of a reading gap. I feel like it's kind of overstated in this case. But it is there. It's still fairly difficult to read high AR, especially without hidden in a tournament setting.
Yeah, I mean, it is the difference between tournament speed and farm speed, right? They are slightly different, and sometimes those differences matter.
Can we just block out the chat? We just get like a black box over the bottom of the chat there. Can we just put that over the chat real quick?
Never talk about that again.
Please, I don't want to see this chat anymore.
Oh man, lovely. I always love the banter in tournament chat. I'm not sure that's the banner I want to see.
This is not banner. This is just bad. Michael, what are you doing? Nonetheless, roster, I think, for Brazil pretty much finalized. Corian Maluko and Nissan are 100% going to be in here. And Corian not as necessarily good at speed as I think some people give him credit for. He's a lot better at speed than I messed up my wording on that. He's a lot better at speed than I think most people give him credit for. The United States opting for Taquito, Decatan, and Kama on this. Kind of surprising not to see Tallulah in on the side of the United States for this one. He is their main speed player that you'd expect to see on maps like
that
this.
is a bit surprising. But you know what? Good luck's coming through. Sounds like our rosters are indeed locked. No Tallulah indeed. Maybe just a skill cap moment. I'm not really sure.
It is definitely not a skill cap moment. That's Tallulah and Gunga. I think he's probably just not here, is my guess.
No, he was.
Deca does not know this map. This is going to be awesome. Okay, I definitely think Tallulah is just not here for this match, which probably puts in perspective why they banned double time twice.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I'm sure that feels good for Brazil. I'm sure they saw Tycani join the lobby and were like, oh, okay, that's how it's going. Now, we do see breaks early on from Tycani and trade from Nissan. But USA, whoa, full break from the entire team, along with huge act drops. Zubs does trade one out, but Corey and Maluko still holding a full combo for Brazil.
Very finger control heavy map on this. You said stamina. There is a bit of stamina here, but it's primarily focused on the finger control aspect. Lots of doubles into triples into what have you. Deca definitely is sight reading this. He missed on the slow slider, I can tell you that much. So, yeah, not really having a fun time. Combo breaks from pretty much everybody. Zubs and Kama countering each other right now. It's just Nissan with the uncontested combo on the side of Brazil currently. Zubs does drop, so there goes that contested combo. There goes Nissan. Kama is the only combo remaining. 150k score. Okay, well, there goes that.
Yeah, unable to hold on for too long, which honestly makes sense. This map is so difficult. Kama wasn't able to bridge that gap. Corey and Maluko, now once again, the highest combos of the lobby. The combos are a lot more even across the board. Not totally even, but more even.
It's Corion with the highest combo in the lobby at the moment. The only one that's not answered by anyone on the United States. It's going to be dropping Taquito, and I need to just stop mentioning names. Apparently, Nissan now, the only one with that dude.
Dude, you gotta, you gotta stop, man!
Man, I sure wish people could hold a combo above 500 in this. I think with the amount of map remaining and the fact that the United States full broke, this is pretty much a sealed deal for Brazil. So finally, going to be getting a point on the board regardless of what happens here, unless they just stop playing, which would be a complete disaster.
Yeah, certainly not sure that'll happen. I think Brazil, they came into this with a little more confidence than any of their other picks. They knew they were going to look good on the speed, and I'm sure they were saving this for a moment like this. Still, Brazil looks really good. Break speed damned. Still, much higher combo, much higher accuracy across the board. Brazil finally able to get their first point. Shoutouts especially to the Nissan and Corey and Maluko scores. Putting them on the board finally. Stopping the US momentum for just a little bit. 4-1.
Brazil have a tough road back, though. They still need to get 2 break points on the United States picks. 2 mets from Nissan. Very nice on that, actually. So overall, solid accuracy from both Kama and Corion as well. Nonetheless, the United States has their next pick. And Brazil needs to get 2 of their next picks, of the United States' next picks, in order to get back into this and keep it a tie game. So right now, the United States still has a pretty massive advantage in that regard.
Yeah, for sure. It's that advantage is something that was always going to be tough for Brazil. I think US just generally has a little bit better skill cap than Brazil, which makes a lot of trouble for them. And with those early break points, it's still a long road ahead for Brazil. We'll see, though. US absolutely could make some blunders with their picks that could give an advantage to Brazil.
Free Mod 3 is somewhat expected after the Hard Rock 3, I imagine. Just wanting to go with something that's in the same realm as it. Free Mod 3 is the anti-mod pick in free mod. So whether you go hidden or hard rock on this, you're going to be at a disadvantage. So he has 6.5 on the hard rock and AR8 with hidden. So reading map with hidden and no mod to some extent, and a precision map with hard rock.
Yeah, this is something that, like, as you said, same vein as the Hard Rock 3 that we saw, but also same vein as the Hidden 3 that Brazil banned. This is something that USA was always going to have in their back pocket, just given that they have the rosters for both of those individual skill sets already. Now they can mix and match them. We already see Taquito in the lobby for, I assume, the Hidden. Hard Rock, probably Bashi?
Bashi, I imagine, would either go hidden or hard rock on this. I could actually see either or, to be honest. He could go easy, even. Easy is a mod that's allowed.
That's
true.
true.
If you go easy, you don't have to take hard rock or hidden, whichever one you prefer not taking. And I imagine if they want to do that, then I imagine they would just skip out on hard rock. So it might just be Taquito on the hidden, Deca on the no mod, and then Bashi playing easy. That could be a combination I could see from the United States here. Brazil, in the meanwhile, Corian is most likely taking hard rock. You're just going to have one of the remaining Brazilian players take hidden, maybe an overmod on the hard rock if they want.
Yeah, overmod on the Hard Rock's a little risky. I don't think it's worth taking when you're down this much, but could see it. We do see Razorfruit join the lobby for the United States. Don't know if that's a temp join or not, but sliding into the slot, that might be locked in. There's Bashi, there we go.
Razorfruit is more than capable of also playing this with no mod, so it's not too surprising to see him. He's Deca and Razorfruit and Kama have very similar skill sets. You could pretty much interchange either one of them, and it probably makes sense for the most part. Waiting on the third player for Brazil. It's going to be Mistia. I imagine Mistia probably taking the hidden. I'm not too sure. He might also take the hard rock. Zubs is confirming what I was believing. So Bashi is on easy, and Taquito's probably on hidden. So we're going to be seeing Razorfruit no mod, and other than that, that's going to be the mod combinations for the United States.
Yeah, I mean, it was an either or possibility.
Yeah, so it's going to be Mistia on the hidden, Corian on the hard rock, Subs on the no mod for Brazil. Taquito is not playing the correct map, unfortunately. We'll get that fixed right about now.
Hey, just really wanted to play some speed, man. Can you blame him?
Yeah, other than that, mod combinations, as we expected. It's going to come down to who has the more consistent no mod players on this, I think. The hiddens, I think, are going to be a bit of a toss-up. This is a very reading-intensive map. And then Bashi. We saw Bashi FC, the free mod 3 last week with easy. Can he do it again? So far, a very solid start for the United States. Bashi holding on to the easy full combo. Razorfruit is right behind him with the no mod full combo. Going to be dropping it now, but there's not really any combo on the side of Brazil to counteract what Bashi's pulling out right now. And even with the easy multiplier being 0.5, Bashi is just about going to outscore the no mod on the side of Brazil now. Taquito as well holding up a fairly nice combo, going to be dropping there. Corian has recovered nicely, but it's going to take a lot more than that, as Bashi still holding on to the easy FC. At this point, the highest score in the lobby after the multiplier. Easy does get a 1.75 times extra multiplier, so you're looking at around 800k if he does FC this, which is looking very likely as he is just completely owning every single overlap in this map. This guy does not care. Okay, maybe he does care. He almost missed there, but he doesn't miss. Gonna be getting the FC, and the highest score in the lobby, or almost the highest score in the lobby, highest score on the United States with easy.
All right, I'm back. What's up, gang?
Bashi almost 1v3'd. That's what happened.
Yeah, great FC, probably. I don't know. Unfortunately, I didn't get to see it. My internet died for the entire map.
He almost did not FC, but yes, that is an FC.
Yeah. That's big for United States. 5-1 now. That's a pretty hard score for Brazil to overcome. It is Brazil's pick next. It is their chance to get 5-2, which feels a lot more manageable.
Well, they only have one more speed pick, really. DT1. I imagine DT4 maybe, but I don't think they'd want to go for that, especially Nomad 4. They don't want to go for, I think, either of those two maps. And everything else remaining is just generic. Nomad 1 hidden, 1 Hard Rock 1. Arguably Hard Rock 2. Hard Rock 2 is just generic flow aim at 160 BPM. That was pretty much toss-up tier for most of these, I think. It's just whatever Brazil feels more confident in.
Yeah, it's the avoid tech, pick anything else. that's the goal, I think. Yeah, okay, it is going to be DT1. I was about to say I think DT1's their best just because of the speed element to it. But AR 10.7 might provide a little more trouble.
Yeah, that would provide a bit more trouble. AR 10.7 is not a comfortable AR for a lot of people. That's, I believe, AR 9.5 after double, or before double time is applied to it. Which is something that we've been seeing a lot more recently, but traditionally in tournament settings, you pretty much never see AR get this high. The highest it's pretty much ever gone for most of tournament life, I think, has been 10.5 at best.
Yeah. You usually don't see poolers brave enough to say, yeah, we'll take the AR 9.5 map, put it in DT, it'll be fun. But you know what? Maybe they just really, really like AR 10.7 on the Brazilian team. Maybe they just love it, and they were just hiding it the whole time.
I think the stream client is having a horrible time right now, as we're not getting the correct map at the moment.
Yeah, that sounds like 2U to me.
Wow, this is my favorite 2U song.
They really switched up, man. Holy.
2U is truly the master of all genres.
I never want to hear that again. Not even as a joke. I never want to hear that.
The streamer is currently having a bit of a problem trying to get DT1 loaded at the moment, so we'll be having some technical difficulties trying to get that solved. Hopefully they do not start the map. I think they are going to be starting the map, so we're probably going to have to end up joining halfway through, which is very unlucky. Nonetheless, bear with us as we get this solved.
Yeah, always gotta have some sort of problem with the tournament client, otherwise it wouldn't be a real match.
It's crazy. It's been, what, like, I think 8 years since this client was introduced, back in OWC 2015 or around that. Somewhere around that. It was introduced, and this is still a problem.
Yep.
Welcome.
Alright, loaded the hit sounds diff for the map. That's something at least. Okay, that's a good sign. The correct diff loaded.
I think we're good now. I think we're good.
Let's go!
We have to wait for the other clients to load in. It's gonna take a minute or two.
We got our heart broken immediately by the streamer saying it's going to take a while for the clients to load in, so unfortunately we're still going to be waiting a bit, but...
Okay, Corey Maluko. Okay, that's 2.
Don't worry.
Comma?
Don't worry, we are, this is definitely a match. We got everyone except one now, at the very least. Nissan Corian on the side of Brazil, still waiting on the third player who is refusing to be shown on the client currently. Taquito, Tallulah, Kama on the side of the United States is your pretty bog standard DT roster. We're just going to be playing without a third player on the Brazilian side. He is there as we try and get that solved, because for some reason it doesn't want to solve itself, and it is having the absolute worst time of all time trying to figure out, like, why is he not there?
So silly! Okay, just imagine they're FCing right now.
We were talking about this map being AR 9.5 double time, and you can kind of see how that's posing a bit of an issue, as a lot of players are not really having the greatest of time reading this, as notable due to their accuracy. Not having the greatest of time reading this, and even without the Brazilian third player, this is fairly close.
Yeah, it is worth noting Nissan is looking a lot more comfortable than I think a lot of other players, holding a pretty high combo, defending one miss so far, I believe. And the accuracy, not too shabby either. USA, meanwhile, not really consistent in anything except for inconsistency. Finding a lot of breaks. Taquito especially not
Finally
looking
got
too
the
comfortable.
third player. Defense has loaded in.
Let's go!
And Nissan holding on to a very sizable combo right now is, I believe, going to be giving Brazil a slight advantage here, unless something changed in the last couple of seconds. So we get into the slow. Oh my god, that is a huge advantage.
Lead.
Okay,
Absolutely.
goodbye.
Again, it's worth noting, Nissan's combo was over 300 twice. So huge lead. And again, Taquito accuracy not looking great. Tallulah and Kama consistently finding breaks as well. Yeah.
This map is over. We're going to be seeing a 5-2 now. Brazil finally getting some momentum here. The double time picks, winning DT2 and DT1 back to back. It's what they need. They're going to need a bit more than that.
Yeah, they do need breakpoints to even it up with the USA, and 2 breakpoints at that. So, you know, they're hoping that this next one is another point for them. Otherwise, they're going to be in deep, deep trouble. USA, I imagine we're picking into tech for the USA. This is DT4 immediate pick.
This is the tech-oriented double time. Very short map. Almost sub 1 minute on this. This is, I think, a song that pretty much everyone knows. Has been in and around the mouse community for quite a while in a multitude of different sets, most notably Shern's set, I believe, back in 2016, around that.
Yeah, I want to say 2016.
This is the more modern rendition from Mir.
Yeah, this diff map by 0PP and Osu. You know, I think fairly well-known tech mapper by this point.
Very, very unorthodox tech mapper. A lot of awkward slider shapes and general patterns that you don't really expect to see in a lot of maps.
Yeah, for sure. And that's going to lead to something interesting. 0PP maps, you know, we've seen them in Nova, we've seen them in DT. They can get really, really tough. As you said, very awkward to play this style of map. And DT turns it up to 11 when you're at 216 BPM on this. It's going to be very, very tough for sure.
Just for context, there are currently almost 2 DTFCs on this map. One of them is Forum, as you would expect. Def as well. This is the other almost FC on this. So a fairly difficult map, and those FCs, by the way, have below 94% accuracy. So also very hard to ack.
Yeah, it's worth noting that Decaden also has a 1 miss on this with HDDT from 6 months ago. So, you know, obviously he immediately came in for this. He knew he was going to be playing this. This is one where he showed pretty dominant performance. Though, of course, tournament is a different world.
Gonna be seeing Defon swap in here on Brazil. Deca swapping in for the United States. I believe those are the only 2 roster changes as we get into the last double time map. No more double time remaining in the pool after this.
Yeah, 1 minute and 14 separates us from No More DT. Brazil's favorite mod by this point. Unfortunately, will be headed out. Here we go. This map does not take long to get too difficult. Breaks across the board. You see Tycani and Corey Melico go Zubs as well. Comma. One FC left per team. Taquito and Defons to start us off on the FCs.
That's a full break on the slider stream there, but the accuracy lead is so much in favor of the United States right now. It's the only thing that really is keeping them in the lead, just that accuracy advantage alone. Combo is essentially non-existent. It's not really a combo advantage to speak of. It's all about the accuracy on this, and that's 200k score difference from that alone. We see Zubs with repeated breaks is going to be giving a considerable combo advantage now to the United States on top of their existing accuracy.
Yeah, now the United States, they started to, clutch up in terms of consistency, right? All of them look consistently good. Taquito and the combo find breaks. Combo on the notch-out slider. Taquito, though, holds on, and it's a huge combo for the United States. 400 combo and climbing from Taquito. Not going to get caught off by the huge slider. Everyone else below a 3-digit combo, but Taquito, lone man standing. Top score for the USA. Highlight performance, and USA is going to take their 6-point match point.
That was just a good team score from the United States all around, honestly. 500k is essentially from pretty much everyone there. Just completely outdoing Brazil on that as a team. And Taquito, obviously, 0 miss. Honorable mention, despite the low accuracy, but nonetheless, it's going to be the United States now at match point. Brazil need to take 4 points consecutively just to get the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and even when you reach the tiebreaker, I mean, it's Palace of Melancholia, right? I would say it's tough for Brazil. Not impossible, but very, very tough. As there's not really any comfortable picks left that they can go into. There's 2 tech maps, 3 aim maps, and Justice Monster, which flow aim, I would say, just given the generic flow aim aspect, I would say would also benefit USA a little bit. So, man, it's hard. There's nowhere Brazil can comfortably go from here.
They're gonna have to, I imagine, pick into one of the generic maps. Nomad 1, Hidden 1, Hard Rock 1. Probably the most likely of those 3, I'd imagine, is probably Hard Rock 1. Don't think they'd want to really deal with Hidden 1. Nomad 1, I guess, is potentially possible. Hard Rock 2 as well, not necessarily a bad decision, but it's a lot more of a toss-up tier since that map is very much a consistency test. I guess Hard Rock 1 also falls in that. But they're going to be going for Hard Rock 1, as kind of expected.
Yeah, Sermon, this is huge aim map, mapped by Depth and Skyflame. 212 BPM, 4 minutes long on this one, so you're going to be here for a long time, and you're going to have to stay very, very consistent. The Hard Rock aim on this really doesn't ever give you a break. It doesn't ever stop. You just have to consistently hit the huge spacing CS 4.9 jumps.
If you've been around the tournament scene for a while, you probably recognize this map as the Corsace Open Grand Finals Nomad 1 back in 2021. It's custom mapped for that tournament.
Yeah, this one's been around, I think. Even the lower dips get pooled in lower star rating tournaments, so I think a lot of people have this map, a lot of people know this map. Of course, the song as well. This song's this might be my favorite Kawada Mami song. Shauna 3 opening, I believe.
You are correct on that. I don't watch anime, so I just looked at the tags.
Perfect. I've been meaning to watch the show, but I haven't yet, so I'm just guessing. Let's go.
Could be seeing Yashin side of Brazil for this. Deca, Kama, and Razorfruit, and on the United States, the core mechanics roster. So not too surprising to see them in.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say this will be a bit of a toss-up. I don't think there's, you can't say this is a Brazil-dominated pick, but you can't say that USA steals it away either. Either team could do it. It's just a matter of who's feeling more consistent on this exact map. And you know, we haven't seen Nyash in a while. I'm sure Nyash has been practicing this map. Really hoping to pull it back for Brazil here, which Brazil needs a lot of the luck here. Even if they win this, they are going to have to play the USA on I imagine, No Mod 4, which is going to be very, very tough. So, you know, lock in not only the gameplay, but the mental.
Couple early misses here. Nyash to drop as well as Deca. Not going to matter too much, as we mentioned. 4-minute long map, so these small combo differences aren't going to be that much of a problem. I imagine we're probably not going to be seeing FCs on this. This map is very hard. Repeated drops from Defons, Nyash, and Deca, so still a slight combo advantage in favor of the United States, but not by a huge amount.
Yeah, no. What's really going to matter is the key eyes. I think breaks in the key eyes are going to be much, much more impactful, and whoever holds on is going to have a huge advantage. Kama's going to find a break for the USA as we get into some a little bit higher spacing jumps. But Razorfruit holds on, though. USA is going to hold their lead. Tycani falls, though. The entire USA falls. Nyash trades it, but Corn and Moluko still holding on to a full combo for Brazil, and now Brazil taking that lead back.
Solely off the combo advantage from Corion right now, though. It's going to be building considerably, as there's some repeated misses from Kama, Deca. Razorfruit still holding on after the first miss, but it's all eyes pretty much on Corion right now. The sole combo on anyone, really. Razorfruit is trying to build up a combo, but going to be missing on the jump there, and this is now officially the Corion Moluko show as he is holding on to his FC past that first chorus.
Yeah, worth mentioning the accuracy as well, 99.7. Nobody can match that. The second highest is Razorfruit at just a plain 99.1. Nobody can really match that accuracy, and nobody is matching the combo at this point as USA could keep finding breaks on Razorfruit and Kama. And the supporting combos in Brazil are matching Deca. There is nothing that they can do about Corey and Moluko. Nyash does go down, but the Fonz is still there to keep fighting Deca off. Corey and Moluko is going to hold on to Caden Falls. Corey and Moluko finally finds a break with the rest of them Brazil, but look at this combo. There is nothing outside of Razorfruit.
If Razorfruit holds on for the rest of the map, we might have something here, but that is going to be a Herculean task for Razorfruit to do at this point with how consistently difficult this map is. Repeated breaks from Brazil, and there goes Razorfruit, the only high combo. Deca, the next highest combo, and as soon as I mention his name, man, I need to just stop.
The fiery rage curse
is actually incredible how much power I hold at a moment's notice. Nice combo, Corion. That didn't work, damn it.
You tried your best. It can only happen when you don't mean it. Man, it's Brazil. I mean, I was a little more worried about USA keeping this one close, but the Corion Moluko difference is so huge. The supporting combos are a little behind USA's higher scores, but Corion Moluko's huge difference with his 500k, his continued combo into the last PI makes such a huge difference for Brazil. Such a huge lead for them. 140k on an A map means a lot. USA's combos are completely gone. It is completely over. Brazil has secured themselves a third point, pretty much. There is nothing the USA can do at this juncture to secure this Hard Rock 1.
This is disgusting from Corion. He's actually FCing most of this ending, and these are cross-screen jumps at Hard Rock 210 BPM. These are not easy, and he's making it look like child's play. Is he actually going to FC pretty much the entire ending here? He actually might, and pulling out a 650k on this, that is disgusting. That is actually just disgusting.
Such an absurd score. 3 misses from Corion and Moluko. You know, frame that on your wall, honestly. That's a damn good score. And it's going to keep Brazil alive for at least another map. USA, though, it's their pick next. And I think they've got a little bit more comfortable options again. And we've been saying it's the tank. It's something that they are just a little more favored on than Brazil.
They do have Hidden 2 and Nomad 4, which fit that bill. Hidden 2 might be the first one they opt to go for. They do have 2 picks, so they can opt to pick both of them if they so choose. Don't imagine they'd ever want to go into Nomad 1, just seeing how Corian performed on Hard Rock 1 there. Especially Hard Rock 2 as well, as I think they're more or less cut from the same cloth. Consistency tests, which are mostly aim focused, so you can only really see the United States picking into 3 maps here. Both the Hiddens and Nomad 4. We'll see which one they opt to go for.
Yeah, take their time to think about it. You don't want to make the wrong decision right at the end of the match. But yeah, I imagine it's probably going to be Hidden 2. It actually is Hidden 1 walk. All right, going right back into the aim, although quite a bit different from Hard Rock 1.
Kind of surprising to see this, but this is definitely the better choice in terms of aim map that they could have picked. Hidden 1. Awkward aim and slight reading on this one. AR9 at 200 BPM. Ica. Everyone loves Ryusei Ica maps. Everyone knows how awkward they can be to play and how gimmicky they can be. I believe this one is more or less just your standard, what you'd expect from a Hidden 1 slot. Awkward aim with some awkward spacing changes and angles here and there scattered throughout. No one is in the lobby.
Yeah, this one's a little more tame for an Ica map in terms of how it usually maps. Right, this was a White Cat tournament custom, so it's 200 BPM awkward aim. It's not particularly weird, just hard. And yeah, as you said, nobody in the lobby. Everybody's practicing this. They got to make sure that they got it. AR9 is the real difficulty of this map. I think the screen density of 200 BPM aim at AR9 in Hidden. Can't understate how difficult that is. And if you're not completely comfortable with the spacing on this aim, you're gonna have a bad time trying to read this.
Hey, we finally got some players in. That's a good sign at the very least. We're going to be seeing Zubs, Nissan, and Mistia in on the side of Brazil. I imagine Taquito, Bashi, and maybe Deca or Razorfruit in on the side of the United States. Actually, Bashi not going to be playing this. There must be some streams in this map. I honestly do not remember this map that much, so if there are streams, that is why Bashi's not in.
I want to say that this is pure aim, but I haven't looked at this in 2 years probably, so can't confidently say.
Nonetheless, Razorfruit and Deca both capable of playing Hidden, especially at an aim consistency level. When you get into more reading intensive, that's where they start to struggle, but just general Hidden prowess, they're more than comfortable and more than capable. We'll see what happens here as the final rosters get in. The United States have one more pick after this. Brazil as well. But Brazil needs to win all 3, including this pick.
Yeah, I'm sure nerves through the roof for the Brazilian team right now. It is so scary to be in a position like this. But you know what? After what we saw on the Hard Rock one, they could absolutely pull it back. Just gotta lock in. And as this is an aim map, it is going to take a second until we get breaks that really matter. We did see early break from Zubs, but it doesn't matter nearly as much. In fact, Brazil holds a slight lead. But the key eye is where we're going to see the breaks come through, and impactful ones at that.
Yeah, Deca is not having a fun time in the accuracy department right now. That's pretty much the only reason this lead was sticking with Brazil. For as we get into the first aim part, Nissan, Taquito, the first ones to drop, and Razorfruit to follow, so slight combo advantage in favor of Brazil right now. Zubs is going to be immediately trading that, though. It's just Mistia, Deca. There goes Mistia. Just Deca now on the only combo in the lobby.
Yeah, he hits the cut straight at the end of the key eye. Yeah, misses right after, but that high combo for just a second gave USA the lead. As we get to a slower part, and there's not really any combo across the board. Everybody's kind of matching each other with the really low combos. So lead's going to stay stagnant for now.
still plenty of map remaining, just a third of the way through. So 75k score lead can easily shift with some built-up combos on the side of Brazil here, and especially if the United States full misses like they are right there. Unfortunately, Brazil is also full missing at the exact same patterns. This is not looking too good. Razorfruit, the only person to hold a combo through that entire part. These streams are horrifying to flow aim through, and it is just not mattering for the United States right now as they're holding combo. And this score lead is now shifting to 200k, and this is starting to be a bit doomed.
Yeah, Brazil, unfortunately, they're not able to keep a consistent combo. All of them are finding tons and tons of misses in the Ki at the break. Everybody knows what's going on. Everybody knows Brazil's combo is down to 0 across the board. They know Taquito has a little bit of combo just as insurance, basically. But the USA has already secured such a massive lead that it really doesn't even matter. They have played so damn good in this match. This is a victory lap for the United States of America, as Brazil, once again, a full combo reset. If you had any hope left, that might be the end of it. Hope's dead, as the Caden and Taquito continue through the final PI with huge combo.
Here's a Taquito Deca God mode moment at the very end, because why not? Might as well. You already got the point secured, so might as well show off that you're going to go God mode against South Korea on this. Why not?
Yeah.
With that, is going to do it for Brazil. Going to be finishing third overall and 3 at WC as they go out in losers grand finals. The United States, second seed overall, going to be facing off against South Korea in a couple of hours. That's 4 UTC Sunday.
Yeah, not too long from now. I mean, for those on